Okay, so who would like to know how we paid for these adoptions? Would you?
Hey, would you put on some pants? Mother the wood.
Getting some requests. People want to know, are we independently wealthy? No, we are not independently wealthy. Are we making millions on YouTube? No. Actually, Carl from Olinsalat, or Famdamly, Ginger's husband, and it was funny because he was talking about how with YouTube, and I think he's very accurate. It's like for every 1,000 views, maybe you make $1. So anyhow, that is not how we've paid for life or our adoptions, but I'm about to tell you, okay? Hey baby, see, I'm out here. I'm here. You don't have to be stressed anymore. Yes. Let's just see how excited they're going to be. This guy still has his deer out. Crazy kids. Hi, Alec. Hi, baby. How are you, handsome? I bet. Whoa.
What did you buy today?
What did I buy? How'd you know I bought something? I bought Oreos.
That's it?
We have so much food. Matea, look, I came.
Mommy, did you buy fruit full-ups?
Did I buy what?
Fruit full-ups?
I bought fruit. What?
Fruit full-ups?
Yeah, you said it. I did.
Alex, not
I came to the bus. I came to the bus.
And there's no construction workers!
Yeah, okay, explain to me why you don't like walking at one block, because
construction workers get me creeped out.
you know what? Why? What do they do?
When they're doing their work and they're outside with their truck, and then they're supposed to be working, looking for their tools. And then one time, this guy with a beard and an afro, and then he was like looking for his tools, and then I walked by, and then he just dropped his screwdriver and stopped his stairs. And then
You don't like that. Okay,
Yeah,
what about
and
you, Ella? The same thing?
And I was in heels.
Oh, you were wearing heels. I'm sorry for all of you respectful construction workers, but in New York City, it used to be awful. Oh my gosh, you'd walk down the street and it'd be like, hey baby. It was awful. That stopped. That's what that's what men, when you're walking to and from work in New York City and they're on a construction site, it's like, are they ever really working? They're checking out the girls. It's not good.
Don't talk about that, please.
Okay, so, but I was here and I'm still here. Okay, so how was your day, Matea?
Good. Oh, guess what? On Monday, we're making parachutes. And then today we had wild auction and I had 1,300.
You had wild ox?
$35.
You had-
So I got to buy money.
What's wild ox?
Wild auction?
Okay, so to continue the conversation I was having with you guys before I was interrupted. Yes!
Allie?
You want a cookie?
Uh-huh.
You want a cookie after school?
Yeah.
You really want a cookie?
Yeah, who doesn't?
How do you say the word physical?
Physical.
Okay, it's not fickle.
I said physical.
I know.
It means wrestle. Some of that
wrestle?
means
Physical means like your body. Okay,
No, I
Matea.
thought physical means like PE and gym. And
That's like, yeah, sort of. It means your body. Can you say the word physical? Hey.
physical.
Oh, good. I'm getting a hug. Hug. Trying again. Okay, so what I was saying was that when we adopted her in 2005, actually our business was doing great and we could afford it. 2008, we adopted 3 kids. So you would think that would be times 3. Yes, many things were multiplied by 3 because you have to have visas and there's these forms you have to fill out and all of that, but many of things were not tripled. So the adoption was about the same as one child from Guatemala. Plus, believe it or not, when you adopt special needs or a sibling group, it's less expensive. I guess they don't consider them in as much demand. It's kind of gross, but yeah. So in the meantime, when we were about to adopt Alec, we had no clue because I think you've heard me say before, I considered it a totally unplanned adoption. It was like January 2 years ago, almost the same exact time. It was like clear that we were going to go, even though we had no money. It's like definitely we are underemployed. We were like at a third of what we used to make. So what happened was we made a commitment, and then there were all these amazing things that happened, and that's what I wanted to share with you. Because sometimes it's the sort of thing where you're like, but how? I mean, you can't just get $20,000, $30,000 together. I mean, it's just an impossibility. And we sort of made this commitment, and then we're like, yeah, but how? Because you need money for a home study, which is approximately anywhere between $1,500 and it could be $2,500. You also need to fill out these forms, which is called the I-600 and the I-600A, which is at the end of the adoption, but you have to fill it out so that you can get approval for an orphan petition to adopt from another country now. Because we have 3 people in our family over 18, which would include Samantha. We have to pay for her petition plus her fingerprints. You get your fingerprints done like 4 or 5 times. I mean, well, maybe 3, but so that right there was like $1,000. So we needed like $2,500 or more just to really start. So amazing thing happened. I get home, I'm opening up the mail, and remember, we just decided to adopt. We're like, I have no idea how we're going to do this. We're going to sell stuff, which we did, by the way. I'll get to that. And I opened up the mail, and I get this letter from our insurance company, Blue Cross Blue Shield, because we used to have to pay our own insurance before Mark got a day job. And they're like, you haven't cashed your $3,500 check, which was a rebate for this insurance that we had paid out of pocket. Well, apparently a month and a half before, they'd sent this check that none of us saw. So there we go. They sent a check. $3,500, and there we go.
I can't say it. Fickle.
You are teasing me.
I can't say fickle.
I can do it. Pickle.
I have a question. Do you remember, Matea, when we had that garage?
Physical.
Oh, good job. Do you remember when we had that garage sale to try to raise money for Alec's adoption, and then nobody came, hardly? Like
Yeah.
one guy came?
But to buy jeans.
Yeah. It was on the day that Princess Kate got married. Do you remember that?
No.
I remember no one
You weren't there.
came.
I do.
No one came.
And then, actually, yeah, a person came who was going to be a robot. Then he changed his mind, then left. Then he went back home.
Yeah.
And
But you still got to be able to raise up money.
I remember
That's true.
I had like this toy rubber snake.
Well, that was scary.
Oh,
And
dang, you loved that.
And then I put and then I put it on the sidewalk, and then I made a sign, "Free snake."
I'll read it for
Matea, yard
you. Sale here.
Okay.
We have furnitures and clothes and
Yeah.
much more.
Furniture and clothes
and much more.
and much more.
How do you spell clothes?
C-L-O-T-H. Okay. C-L-O-T-H-E-S. Clothes.
And then, but
That's
nobody
funny.
took it.
Yes. Okay. If you're planning a garage sale to try to raise money for an adoption, okay, number 1, don't do it in a neighborhood where nobody could care less about your junk, which was our case. Nobody wanted to buy our junk because we're like the Beverly Hillbillies. We do not belong in our neighborhood. It's a long story, but I'll tell you about it later. And moving on, it's like, how are we going to afford this? How are we going to afford this? For flights, somebody donated 165,000 miles, which was the equivalent of like $5,000. We went back on our taxes and we looked, and we thought that we had all of our refunds, but there was a mistake from the previous year that meant we had a few $1,000s extra, and we were able to apply that. His job gave us a few $1,000s, and then we got a grant we had to apply for some grants, and because our income was so low, we qualified and were approved, because the timing was just right, from Stephen Curtis Chapman's organization Show Hope for $5,000 credit. Right about there, it was pretty much paid for. Okay, I got this at the Walmart grocery store for 50 cents rather than $2 because it's an after Christmas sale. And what were you just doing with it, my ta-da?
And I'm doing this.
Okay, go ahead. Oh! It's not always that easy. We had also garage sales that didn't raise any money. We tried to sell back books at Amazon, which is another way you can do it. Write letters to your friends, and they, have an online auction. You do whatever you can. You work an extra job. Some people take out a second mortgage. Of course, I did not do that because we couldn't even qualify for that. Most people I know who are adopting have no money. Like, they don't have money. And yet somehow it works out. The reason why it's expensive is because of visas, flights, hotels, and then some agency or facilitator fees. I mean, everything adds up. Even you have to get things notarized, apostilled, which means the government, stamp. And then even mailing things can be like $120 here and there. So it can add up. So different countries, different fees. I sang a lot of songs for the first 2 adoptions. A lot of songs, but it was worth it. And then for the last adoption, it was just simply good fortune, and we weren't shy with communicating to people that we needed the money.
This is another thing about construction workers. I know if people are watching this and and you're construction workers, please don't get offended by my cuteness. Okay. When I come home, they always look at me and they could be stalking you.
Stalking you, yes. Okay, don't worry, we'll take care of that. All right, baby?
Yep, we'll take care of that.
I'm not offended by your
Cookie?
cuteness. No, thank you. Okay, this is getting a little deep, but we're all friends here. Especially when we were contemplating adopting Alec and we had no money, I remember I was out to lunch somewhere pretty much by myself, and I remember thinking to myself, okay, what do I want my legacy to be? I mean, do I want to invest my time and my energy, I don't know, into menial, insignificant things? Do I want my life to be about how many hours I worked, how successful my band was, how successful this was? And I got to this point where I realized that I just felt like I wanted to sort of spend myself, my energy. I remember thinking, okay, maybe we won't be getting designer shoes. Maybe we won't be eating the best meals. Maybe we won't go out as much. It's worth it because it's a decision to sort of live your life, not having it be just all about you, but sacrificing something. I mean, we talk so much about, reaching our goals and doing things for ourselves and all of that. And all that stuff's good, but is it really, I don't know, is it really what life is all about? I just wanted to put that out there when you're contemplating adoption. Now, we had that same conversation with ourselves when we had lots of money. We were like, well, gosh, we're successful, but is this all that there is? Is that what our life is going to be? So adoption for us was really about shifting our perception and shifting our goals and our aspirations and how do you want to live your life. And so we chose intentionally to, even out of a place of lack, stretch and try to make it work for another human being. And our children are doing the same thing. They're getting hand-me-downs. They're not buying designer stuff, and maybe we don't have a lot of extracurricular activities because of it. But even when you're doing really, really well in business, you ask yourself the same question. So just putting that out there, adoption has to be sort of a shift in your mindset of giving of yourself to somebody else, and the rewards are amazing.
5 seconds later, news reporters, construction workers are stalking people. My cookie.
Yeah, that was like a Prada
this is cute.
Prada dress.
What is this? Is yours?
Used to wear that with black funky boots. That was when I used to be black and funky. I still have one of those dresses in my size.
Mommy, this would go with this.
Well, do you want to know what a cocktail
Hey.
is?
Somebody's too.
It's a type of animal that lives in the sea.
A cocktail party is where you go and you have nice adult drinks like fruity, and then you dress up in your high heels and there's music playing and you do things like this. You go, oh, that's so funny, James.